And we're beyond stoked because we got the one and only Alien Sky Cult all the way from New Delhi, India. How's it going, my friends? They're slowly connecting in with that audio. I know how this is. This is pretty nuts. This is like a 12-hour and 30-minute time difference. That's what I'm told. How's it going, my friends?
I'm going to try and have them ask to start their videos. Unmute. Here we go.
Yeah, I see them. We put too many toggles on you guys. How's it going, my friends?
It's going good, guys.
It's good, man. It's good. How are you?
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. So I know that Alien Sky Cult, you guys are an Indian hardcore metal hybrid. I've never heard of a metal hybrid. I'm not really quite sure what that means. So in your guys' definition, because I know especially, you guys don't know either? Someone just labeled you guys just like, oh, metal hybrid. And I always think that's really funny because especially with the heavy metal community, there's always so many subgenres. And does that drive you guys nuts as a band when sometimes someone tries to label you to a specific subgenre?
Yeah, man. Sometimes we also don't know all the genres out there, man. Every day you see a new genre coming out, so it's pretty messed up.
Yeah, right.
And I have to say, just so you guys know, you are our first metal strike a chord guest. So thank you for coming on, and international.
Yeah.
You hit it all out of the park on one swing. So thank you.
Yes, I mean, it really is an honor. I mean, we played a lot of heavy metal on the show. We were just laughing so hard, even with our own producer, like, wow, we've actually never had a heavy metal band on just yet. And I think this is actually really unique because of a lot of the listeners and millennials. Maybe they've been naive and they've been holding back heavy metal for so long. And why is heavy metal so special for you guys? Because I always feel like when I look at India, it's such a big country, but I feel like I know so little about you guys. And what is the metal community like in your country?
Well, it's growing, actually. It's growing with time. We get a lot of, say, bands from Europe and the States coming down to our countries these days. We get like shit tons of bands coming out. And people are actually listening to a lot of metal out here.
Wow.
So it's growing slowly but steadily. It is.
And
That's cool.
Yeah, I remember growing up, I think it was all the bootleg cassettes and CDs that we used to have in the market, because obviously we don't get everything that we want. And it was infancy, I think. So we were not, actually connected that well. But we still got, CDs. I think I remember having a Slipknot record when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I think that's
so funny. That was the first record I bought. I bought my first record in 5th grade. It was the Slipknot's Subtitled album. That's hilarious.
And I still,
great.
And it's not even a CD; it's a cassette. So I'm 31 years old now. Yeah.
And in America, that would be considered super rare. If you had a cassette tape of the Slipknot still, oh my gosh, that's a gem. Hold on to that one.
Amazon.
Yeah, I know, right? Throw it up on Amazon or eBay. Immediately.
eBay that bad boy.
No. So yeah, I mean, we grew up with that, and I think we had, like peers or seniors that were doing it in the scene. I mean, they were already playing heavy metal. They were not playing what we play now, but they were playing, Iron Maiden. They were playing Megadeth. They were playing Metallica.
More of the classic stuff.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
So the things that were, relevant in their times. So as we grew up, I think there was Lamb of God. There was all these different bands that, kept resonating. And I think Opeth, all these bands that we got to see them, obviously. But that always changes. And the metal scene keeps growing. It's not stagnant.
It keeps evolving.
But yeah, I think there are a lot of places which are oriented to different kinds of metal. Like suppose the northeastern part of our country is basically, it listens to a lot of 80s rock. So that's why a lot of bands, from Extreme to Mr. Big, they've all come down to this part of the country just because the fan base is so huge.
Wow.
But heavy metal is different in different parts of this country. As in, it's as diverse as the culture that we have. It's different everywhere.
I know. I want to go to India so bad. That's on one of my country lists to go to in the next couple years. I have a lot of friends that go. You're a beautiful country, absolutely beautiful and diverse.
Exactly. But I think the one part of the country that is not advertised or people don't know about is the northeastern part of India. So that place is the rock capital of India.
And what place? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What place of India?
It's the northeastern part of India.
Okay.
The northeast.
Got
So
you.
there are 7
Oh,
states.
that's where I'm at to go then. Northeast, Chris. We need to take the Chris Collins show. Come see
Yeah,
Chris play
absolutely.
live. Producer, hear that? I want some tickets in India. And come see you.
No, I think that's great, guys. And I know I want to leave you guys enough time to play one of your guys' brand new singles. And you guys just recently dropped the official music video for Glass Cannon. And you guys give us a Fahar? Let's throw it at you, my friend. What is the meaning to Glass Cannon? He's all like, what's the mutual understanding? What do you? Actually, let's do a group effort because that's what bands do. They all collaborate together, right? What does Glass Cannons mean? Was that just kind of like a fun kind of?
That term has come from CS 1.6, I think. Siddharth.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Counter-Strike.
Oh, that's pretty funny. But what's like the hidden message between it? Because I know a lot of the times with heavy metal music, at least, I mean, they're always talking about anti-war. I mean, is that some of the themes that you guys are getting in Glass Cannon?
No, Glass Cannon is more like, say, going all out. So it's like a CS term that's mostly used in Counter-Strike, where you say you have an arm, and then you basically have a sniper, but you don't have a vest on you. So like you can go out and kill everyone, but then again, just a pistol can kill you.
Right.
So you are like you're really vulnerable, but you're like going all out. That's like about it.
Oh, that's interesting. I never really viewed it like that. I like that a lot. But I know we got the music video for you guys right here because we got to do something special since this is a video on air production. So right now we're going to be showcasing Alien Sky Cult's Glass Cannon. Dude, that ending breakdown, like every single time when I heard that, I was like, why did it stop? Like, I mean, I literally felt that. You guys remind me of like early days of like Darkest Hour, Norma Jean, and As They Lay Dying. That's really that rawness that I like from you guys because it's not overproduced. I mean, sometimes I know, like you guys mentioned earlier, Lamb of God, right? I mean, when they dropped the Sacrament album, they got a lot of flack from fans for saying that it was way overproduced. So what was your guys' process like when you guys started recording your guys' Untitled album?
See, the process is basically the same. We have been doing this for the past 2 years because we are always in different cities. And we have been having this sort of, before COVID-19 came, there was a political unrest in our country. So we have been in lockdown for, I think, I don't even remember, since January.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it has
January.
been, yeah,
This
since
has
constant
nothing to do with
curfews.
this has nothing to do with COVID, right?
No,
This is
no, it has, yeah,
Wasn't that about with the Muslims and the Hindus keeping that apart?
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so the song Glass Cannon is also about that, about how the minorities are still fighting. And I think as me, as being a Hindu, so I have to support, what's going wrong in this country. So I think if a lot of Hindus come out against what's happening, I think the government is bound to, bow down eventually. So the unrest began with that in January, and I think we have been in different places, and we did not have access to, like I could not track my drums and go to studio. I had to do it MIDI, and
Oh.
my one guitarist had to record both the guitars because Farhad didn't have access to a studio because he couldn't go out because of the curfew, and my bassist Jishnu, he was in Calcutta, even a different city. So this whole song was done, in different parts. So it was like doing it in a uh, like a COVID-19 situation, but before
Wow.
that.
That's kind
Yeah.
of
So
unique. I think you guys will, as much as that's terrible what you guys are going through in your country, I definitely think that's kind of unique for all the listeners out there to know that you guys are working, remotely from your homes, but still making the passion of music moving forward. I think
And
that's really incredible.
and your music is also fighting for equality. It's equality. This is a
yes, it
global
is.
thing. I mean, your music is resonating. It's now, it's in the moment, and it's not just for India, but it's also around the world. I mean, I can relate to your music. This is really wonderful.
And I know that there's a lot of tensions that's happening around the world, just like how you guys just said now, especially in India. And I know, especially in our country, America, and the rest of the world, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening. I know, especially with the metal community, like I said before, we all saw with your guys' music video, you guys were really stoked to be the opening act for As They Lay Dying. And I've been really dying to ask this question to you guys because obviously you guys know what's been circling the last week. The Black Lives Matters protest is now been in America, and now it's affecting the entire world. But just recently, the Ghost Inside just fired their bassist because he made a racial slur in a private setting in his tour bus 6 years ago. And I really wanted to throw this out to you guys because you guys just went on tour with As They Lay Dying when they just got reunited. And for any of the listeners out there who do not know who As They Lay Dying is, Tim was a vocalist who went to jail for trying to hire a hitman to kill his wife. So I want to ask you guys, what's worse, saying the N-word or hiring a hitman to kill his wife? I mean, is there a certain point in time where, you should get some kind of reconciliation together? Because I think it's really strange when the Ghost Inside fires one of their bandmates for saying a racial slur, and then less than 24 hours, the drummer gets accused of saying homophobic slurs and doesn't get fired. So how do you guys feel about this weird cancel culture that's happening?
See, I think if I speak about Tim and As I Lay Dying, I think the moment Tim was convicted, the band distanced himself. We distanced themselves from him right away. I think they formed Woven War and they were on the different path. Tim was on his own. But I think Tim came back and, he reconciled. He asked for forgiveness from his fans and from society. And I think he's been doing a lot of, motivational talks around his country and also around the city. And I think with the new album that they put out, I think that's the message that he's trying to put out. That even if you do something horrible, I think you still should get a chance to, reconcile. You should get a chance to get back to society. I mean, that's what a modern society should be about, and it is, I think.
Right.
But at the same time, I think if Jim Riley was, called out 5 years ago, he would have done the same thing. He would have gone that path of reconciliation. He would have he would have retrospectively, he would have thought what he did was wrong.
Right.
And he would have changed his ways and probably changed others around him. But I think that didn't get called out, but it did now. And now I think it's a time where nothing can be forgiven because it has been going on for so long, right? And I don't think it's about how bad it is. I think it's about why is it happening at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not about-
and for all the Karens out there, in case you couldn't get this, yes, the N-word is worse than killing your wife. Okay.
I'm pretty sure if you go and say that to a
Karens
black,
out there.
I'm pretty sure if you go and say it to a black person, you get your ass beat. Truthfully.
No, I didn't get to the point yet.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't get to the point yet. So I was saying that, yes, I mean, I get that the situation. And what I mean to say is that things should have been called out then and there. We don't have to have a riot, revolution if people are allowed to protest peacefully. It's inevitable to have a revolution when you don't allow protest to be peaceful. There's going to be riots. You can't complain about riots. You don't control chaos if you have let chaos, become itself what it is today.
Absolutely.
So I think,
yeah, absolutely. And I know that we're
Thank
starting
you.
to run out of time, but I want to play you guys one of your other guys' new songs, Inanimate.
Okay.
And this Fahar, I want to throw it at you again. Or anybody. What is the meaning between inanimate? Is there always these little hidden gems, or are you guys like Dance Gavin Dance, where you guys just throw random song titles on top of tracks and you go, just listen to the lyrics. That's the real meaning. Don't worry about the song titles so much.
So Inanimate, we came out like when Siddharth and Shung were composing songs before when we joined the band. So Inanimate was the first song when we made it together. We recorded it around 2017, I think.
We started
Yeah.
from 17, but then it went.
Yeah,
on.
we started making the song from 17, and that was the first song that we came we made it together. And the song mostly speaks about the theme of CAA, this new Siddharth, can you?
He's like, help me out, Batman, help me out, brother. Well, let's just let the music speak for itself, right? I mean, let's give it a go. Inanimate, I like. Oh, you guys, Siddharth, you got something?
Just one thing though. So
Yeah.
So the song was released when our internet was shut down in the entire country. In our states, it was shut down by the government.
We had a blackout.
So we could not release the song ourselves. We had to send the link. We had to ask someone in a different city, in a different state, to release the song for us. And we only could contact via cellular calls. There was no internet.
Wow.
For I think 15, 20 days. Yeah, there was a complete blackout by the government to I think curtail the protests, because protests were happening here as well. So for people not to mobilize, not to organize, the government shut down the internet. And I think it's become a trend.
Yeah, we always
that
release tracks during lockdowns. All
I
our
mean,
tracks are during
and
lockdowns.
I hear you guys, and I think it's like you guys got a lot of mayhem that's been happening every other year, it seems like, and it's very unfortunate. And when I hear your guys' story, I hope that the rest of the listeners here in America understand that, let's do our due part and let's do better.
And here's Inanimate, so we can listen to this song before we jump off. So hold on
That's
one
right.
second. Here it is.
Crash around you. Gravity
Untitled. That was Alien Sky, Colt, and that was Inanimate. You guys are kick-ass, my friend. And where can the listeners follow you guys on social media?
On all platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, on all platforms.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. And also,
Also
follow him on
on
social
Instagram.
media, right? Yeah,
Instagram,
Alien Sky,
Facebook.
Colt, right?
Instagram, Facebook, obviously.
Hey, that's what I like to hear, my friends. And please continue to send us your guys' new music as we like. And I know that we were supposed to be playing you guys' new other song, Fate, off your guys' EP, You Are Not Alone. But for all the listeners out there, I apologize. We're starting to run out of time. That's how radio is. But we will be sharing that song all over our social media platforms all day today. And thank you again, guys, because I know it's almost midnight for you guys, and it's early morning for us. So thanks for staying up for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, and hopefully we have you guys back on soon.